Matthew here from MiniWarGaming.com, bringing you another Beat Matt Batrep. This time it is a Warhammer Fantasy battle report, and it's going to be Tomb Kings against Dark Elves. Tim has come all the way from Thorold, which is what, a 20-minute drive?
Yeah.
So very, very far, to compete for over $50 in prizes and magnets, green stuff, and other stuff, if he can beat me in this Warhammer Fantasy battle report. It's going to be 1,750 points. Let's take a look at the armies, as well as the scenario.
Let's start off by taking a look at my Tomb Kings. This is 1,750 points. So here we are. You're starting to see the same thing when I bring my Tomb Kings because I'm figuring out what's working. It's being led by a Tomb Prince, not a Tomb King. Instead, I'm going to bring my Hierophant being the High Priest, so he's a level 4 wizard. And then we've got just a regular Lich Priest upgraded to be a level 2 wizard on his Skeletal Steed. The Hierophant and the Prince are going to join this large squad of 50 Tomb King skeleton warriors, and they're going to have full command. And then we've got 16 skeleton archers with no command at all. And then we've got our chariots, of course, 6 chariots with full command, and also a magic banner that gives them +1 inch to the movement. And we've got 6 skeleton horse archers, and they're going to do a scout where they just get to be placed on anywhere on the board within 12 inches of an enemy. Big old Necrosphinx, I'm giving him another chance because he just hasn't worked out for me so far. And then, of course, a Screaming Skull Catapult upgraded with Skulls of the Foes, so that can cause panic tests. Taking a look at Tim's Dark Elves, he too also brought a level 4 wizard, and we'll be taking a look at that in a second. This is an army he borrowed from a friend, so he just kind of brought what he had there. Over on the one side, it is being led by a master with a great weapon, heavy armor, repeater crossbow, sea dragon cloak, and all of that. And he's being escorted by a group of 15 Blackguard. This is a group of 10 Black Ark Corsairs. And then we've got a full group of 20 crossbows with full command. And then we've got our level 4 Supreme Sorceress with a sacrificial dagger, and she's in a lore of dark magic, and she's got her 30 spearmen. And we've got another 10 crossbows and a War Hydra. And then there's 5 shades as well. Are we going to show them? There they are. 5 shades. They also get to do their scout, where they kind of like infiltrate into the game and just go wherever they want. And we have a bolt thrower. So all around, it's a troop-heavy list. There aren't any of the cavalry that you normally would see in a Dark Elf list. And so we're just going to go right into deployment. The scenario is pretty straightforward. The scenario is just victory points. We decided to do that because he hasn't played for a couple months, and I've only actually played probably a dozen Warhammer Fantasy games, so still getting used to my army, still getting used to the rules. I feel like I'm starting to get to the point where I'm building my army is becoming more solid in its tactics, and it does get a little repetitive. I would like to expand on my Tomb Kings army so that I could try some different tactics, like an all-chariot army or something fun like that, or try some of the different named characters. It's just a matter of getting around to collecting the extra models and all of that, which is a bit of a challenge. So deployment here, we rolled off. I got to go first, so that means I will get a +1 to my to rolling to see who goes first for the turns, because I will get everything deployed before he does. I got just like my normal strategy, got the skeleton warriors in the middle with the chariots beside them. The warriors will advance and the chariots will hang back a little bit, and so if he manages to charge my warriors, I can counter-charge the chariots. If he moves up and doesn't charge, then I can just charge with my chariots. Either way, they can do their impact hits. And we roll to see who goes first, or we roll to see who deploys their scouts first, and he deploys his first. So he's putting his right beside my archers, so he can harass them. Because he wasn't able to put them behind and go after the Screaming Skull Catapult. And then I put mine just 12 inches away from both of his guys. I barely fit right here in this corner, so I can run after his bolt thrower and basically negate any of its usefulness. So we roll off, and I do indeed win first turn. And so very straightforward movement phase here, no charges declared, just moving up my guys 4 inches. Then move my horsemen, they're going to move their full 8 inches around so that they can have a good firing angle on the bolt thrower. And then my archers just advance their 4 inches as well so they can engage his 5 shades, which he wanted me to do because he wanted them to be a distraction, but either way I've got to take care of them. And Necrosphinx moves up, the chariots move up, making sure to stay out of charge range of anybody. And then the priest moves. I get 9 power dice, and I do manage to get double shots on my archers, and they managed by themselves to kill these 5 shades. That was very impressive rolling by them. I've never seen them do so well. My 6 shots from the horseman archers doesn't do anything. Screaming Skull Catapult fires. Luckily it does not misfire, which it always manages to do. Instead it just misses altogether. So far no effectiveness from it. The Chariots then fire. Only the front rank is in range, only 6 shots. Manage 2 wounds and he fails both of the armor saves, so he does lose 2 of his crossbowmen. So overall he loses his 5 shades and a couple of his crossbowmen. So not too heavy losses, but still something that is nice for me to get a little bit of a victory right at the beginning. His War Hydra moves up into the trees, and then he marches with a couple of his units to get into position, and then he holds back with a couple other units to be able to fire his crossbows. His bolt thrower turns and says, okay, you want to engage me? I'll take you on right now. The sorceress group moves up. The funny thing is that since she has her sacrificial dagger, she can kill guys in her group to get extra power dice, and so basically that's just one big group of power dice. So right there I got 5 dispel and he gets 6 power dice. He fires the magic missile one where he gets d6 strength 4 hits, and now he's sacrificing guys to increase the power of it. And so he sacrifices the second guy and he rolls only another 2. That's as far as he can go. And I managed to dispel it with 3 dice. That's pretty sad. And his crossbowmen then fire their repeater crossbows. They get 40 shots and manage to inflict only 2 wounds, and I save one of those wounds. And so one of my chariots is down to 2 wounds. The other crossbowmen decide to fire again at the same squad, desperate to take down at least one chariot, and they don't manage to do any wounds. The bolt thrower then turns on the skeleton horseman and fires and actually manages to kill 3 of them without any effort whatsoever. So the end of round 1, like I said, we have minor losses on both sides. I've lost 3 horsemen, archers, and a wound off a chariot. He's lost 5 shades and a couple of his crossbowmen. Other than that, though, nothing too serious has happened yet. It's more just getting into position, getting ready for those really, really critical charges that we are going to see. Hopefully my horsemen archers can still take on that bolt thrower and make it kind of ineffective, because it could be very effective against my large horde units. So stay tuned for round 2 of Tomb Kings vs. Dark Elves.
Visit MiniWarGaming.com to see our videos 1 month early.